What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have an extremely good video for you, especially if you're in the position I was in 2 to 3 years ago, okay? So today's video is what I would do if I was broke again. So if we took away the penthouse, we took away the cars, we took away all of my money, and we have a couple of assumptions here that we're gonna work with in this situation. But if we took that all away and I was back to college dropout Luke, what would I do again to get back to $10,000 a month? So I'm gonna show you guys in depth, step by step, exactly what I did, what I would do differently, and what I would recommend that you guys do if you're in a similar situation. So let's jump right in. So guys, we have to make a couple of assumptions for this to be an accurate video and instruction on what to do if you're broke or if you're in that position. So our assumptions here are you have a laptop, you have $1,000 to your name, and you have minor responsibilities / bills, okay? Maybe you're a college student, maybe you work a job, something along those lines. These are our assumptions and the parameters that we're gonna be working under for this video. I was actually in this exact same situation, so we're gonna use this. Our goal is to get to $10,000 a month as quickly as possible, and that's exactly what I'm gonna show you guys how to do. So, number one, I would sell everything that I owned, like Xboxes, jewelry, shoes, clothes, anything frivolous that you do not need. When you're broke and it is like time to actually get to it, you don't want to be holding things like that, and you want to buy yourself as much time as possible, okay? When you're broke in a situation like this, I look at cash as time, okay? If I have $1,000 and my expenses are $500 a month, that means I have 2 months to live, okay, in that situation. So this buys you time before you hit zero. That's step one before we even get into tactics, we even get into anything else. You need to sell everything you own and stack up as much cash as you can. So you have 2 options after this, okay? Option number 1 is you can either burn the ships and go all in and give yourself one path. That's what I did when I dropped out of college. Or you can get a job at a gym or something, and that allows you to pay what bills you do have and buys you even more time. But the one thing I would say here is do not get stuck in a 9 to 5, okay? A 9 to 5 will trap you, it'll leave you tired, you won't have energy mentally, and even if you make enough money, maybe you make a couple grand a month, you're not really gonna have time to put towards getting out of that rat race, which is the goal of this video, okay? So the reason I say a gym, I worked at a gym when I was broke in high school, but not really in college because I didn't have an option there. But I worked at a gym. I got free access to lift to take care of my health. It's really good for your mental. And I also met some people at the gym, which was a good bonus. And it's enough money and minimal hours to where you can kind of do what we're trying to do here, which is get out of that rat race. So that would be my recommendation. 2 options: you either go all in, or you do kind of play it safe and give yourself a backup plan and just buy yourself time with a job like a gym or something. So the next thing I would do, and this is something I wish that I did whenever I was in this situation, so you can learn from my mistakes, is I would get a sales job, okay? I tried to build an entire agency from scratch as a broke kid who knew nothing, had no business skills, had no connections, and I pulled it off, but it took me a lot longer than I would have if I would have just gotten a sales position with an already successful company, even an agency, okay? So either as a setter or a closer, it doesn't matter. Ideally, we want to be a closer because we'll make more money. But what you're asking right now is probably, how do I find a job? Okay, you're telling me do sales, how do I find a job? And this is literally exactly how. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter like our opportunities in our program are. But I would go on Facebook, I would type in high ticket closer, setter, sales groups, anything along those lines. I would join all of them. I would clean up my Facebook profile, and I would try to make myself look as presentable as possible. What I would then do is I would look for listings that people need closers and they need setters, okay? And if you guys don't know, a closer closes deals. So you're on the phone, you close deals, you get paid. A setter is messaging typically and setting up calls outbound on Facebook or something along those lines, okay? So either way, you have really good earning potential, a lot better than a 9 to 5, and you're maximizing the time value of your money in this situation, okay? So the odds are you're gonna have to start as a setter. It's totally fine. You'll still make more money than your 9 to 5 with less time involved, and you'll be able to work your way up to a closer, okay? So these Facebook groups are gonna make you start as a setter probably if you have no experience, unless you work with a program like Closer Cartel or something else. but that's not really an option if you're broke like this. So continuing on. The next thing I would do is I would interview with as many companies as you could until you get hired. The big thing here is you need to make sure it's a legitimate company. They have good lead flow, they have a good offer, they have good reviews, because the last thing you want to do when you're in a time crunch like this, you only have so much cash, you're going to run out, is you don't want to waste time and get the wrong opportunity, and then you realize, fuck, I have no cash, I'm kind of like dead in the water, you know what I mean? So make sure you do your due diligence, you research the company, you talk to the people that are interviewing you, you ask what the closers or the setters that currently work with them are making, and things along those lines. That way you don't waste a couple of weeks, because guys, when you're broke and you have $1,000 to your name, time is very precious, especially when you have expenses rolling in, okay? You have a finite amount of time and you want to make the most of the shots you get during that time. So the company might make you or have you do minor sales training, which is good, because at this point we're going to assume you're inexperienced. So the company will probably give you minor sales training on the offer or whatever you're going to be selling or setting, which is good, because we're going to assume that you don't have experience and you don't really know anything about sales. So you're going to get your feet wet here. This isn't enough to get you to like $10,000 a month yet, but it's really not that difficult to make $2 to $3 grand as a rookie, either as a setter or a closer. I know setters that make like $10,000 a month. So it's super, super possible. And this is your best option if you're broke, if you're trying to get out of this position you're in, you're trying to stack cash, and you don't really have any skills, this is the best skill to learn, okay? So the next thing I would do is you're in a gig now, right? You're making $2,000 or $3,000 a month as a setter or a closer. You really need to improve your skill and get a better opportunity in order to get to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month profit, okay? So what I would do is legitimately save up and continue closing until you can afford to pay for a coach or program like Closer Cartel. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, oh, he's just trying to sell a course. Guys, really the thing that sped up my success of, in all reality, I'm 21 years old. It's 2021, right? I'm a 2000s baby. I didn't get into business until really 2019. So 2 years of doing this and I'm in the position I am now. Not where I want to be, but we're doing pretty good as a 21-year-old. And I credit most of that speed of transformation to paying for coaches, paying for mentors, and paying for education, okay? Self-education is the highest ROI that you can make on yourself, investment-wise, and I would credit most of my success to that, okay? So I would save up, I would continue to close or set until I can afford to pay for a coach or a program like we have. It's going to speed up your success, it's going to make things a lot easier, and you're not going to be struggling on your own as much. Guys, life is not fair, the business world is not fair, sales is not fair, it's performance-based. So you want to give yourself as much advantages and make things as easy on yourself as possible, okay? This isn't the type of thing where you want to challenge yourself and make things tough. You want to win, you want to succeed, you want to see cash come in the door, and the best way to do that is by making things as easy as possible, okay? So like I said, this is what took me from welfare to penthouse, like my Twitter bio says, in 3 years, okay? Since I started in technically 2019, we're just gonna say 18 years old, because that's when you officially become a man. So that's the next thing I would do. So now you're in a position where you have a sales role, okay? So you have the vehicle to get cash. You have a coach or a mentor or somebody to tell you what to do in your next steps and make it easier on you, get you better opportunities. And now you can start to stack cash and master sales. Sales is the greatest skill on earth. Even when I started my agency, I was essentially a salesperson. I was just selling my own offers that I then had to deliver work on and fulfill. That's why I'm telling you guys, simply just get the sales role, skip the building of an agency and the delivery and the fulfillment, because you'll be able to make a lot more money, okay? So at this point, your sole goal is to stack cash and invest in yourself and invest in things like crypto or something similar, okay? Once you hit $10,000 a month consistently, your life changes. You now are not really in a famine type of thing, like kind of mindset. You're more of in a feast mindset. You can start to invest, you can start to stack, and that's when your growth starts to become exponential, okay? So like I'm saying, like I've only been in this for 2 years, 3 years, my growth started off like this, very, very slow, but at a certain point, it started to go exponential, okay? Last year, my biggest month was 30,000. This year, November is going to be huge, but this year my biggest month has been 135, 140,000, okay? So the growth happens very quickly, but you have to claw and scratch and get your way there before you can start to go exponential, okay? So Stat Cash, you're in a sales gig, you have the vehicle to get where you need to be. Stat Cash, continue to reinvest in yourself, into crypto, into e-com, whatever you want to do to really multiply your cash. That's what I would do. Because guys, at the end of the day, sales is still sort of a time for money sort of transaction. So you want to maximize the value of your money by doing things like that, investing in yourself, investing in crypto, something of the sorts, okay? So some takeaways from this video, guys. I wanted to make this very direct because I know a lot of you watching and a lot of you that will come across this video are probably in the same situation, right? And it's tough, it's super freaking hard. And there's not a lot of like instruction on what to do. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have a guide like this. I kind of just put it together in my head like, hey, like I think I need to do this and a gut feeling I need to do this next and so forth. So some takeaways from this that I think are really valuable for anyone listening. A 9-to-5 is a trap, okay? It can give you comfort, it can give you security, but it's a trap in the sense that it takes away your time and your energy. If you get home at the end of the day and you have no mental energy left, it's hard to learn. It's hard to do something else. It's hard to take calls, right? So you, goal-wise, need to be in a position where you can pay for your bills with as little time as possible so you can focus on learning the sales and doing the correct vehicle, not a 9-to-5, okay? So avoid that if possible. The next thing, sales is the best vehicle for beginners and anyone that wants to make as much money per month in as short of a time frame as possible. That's why I'm recommending it, okay? You can use this same framework with anything, with an agency, with e-com, with whatever, but nothing else gives you as much upside in as quick of a time frame as sales does, which is why we're recommending it here as far as the vehicle. Investing into mentors and coaches is the single highest ROI thing that you can do once you have money. My coaches and mentors have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars in a very short amount of time, and without them, I would not have progressed so fast, okay? Even in the last 6 months, a very important person in my life, a mentor of mine who I met here in Miami, has completely transformed my growth in 6 months time frame from making $30,000 a month, 40, 50, to hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, okay? And it's pretty surreal, but that's the reality of what happens when you get around the right people and you get around people who are really being or doing the things you want to do, okay? And guys, the final takeaway that I want to give you in this video, if you're listening to this and you're broke, or maybe you're trapped in a job you hate, or you're in some sort of situation that you don't want to be in, okay? I feel for you. I was there at one point. I legitimately come from what I come from. I don't make up a story. Like, that was the real stuff that I had to get through. So that's why I'm making this video for you guys. And I want to just let you know, I was in the same position. I made it out, okay? You can make it out. My little brother, I have friends who've been in the same situations and they've made it out as well. It seems dark sometimes you lose faith and sometimes it gets really lonely, but I want you guys to not give up. You have to work hard, you have to not quit, and you have to pick the right vehicle to invest your time and your energy into, okay? That's why I genuinely recommend sales. I don't care if you work with us, I don't care if you work with somebody else, I don't care if you just watch these YouTube videos and implement what I give you here. Just make sure you do the right thing. And I really think at this time frame of the market and the global business situation right now, I think sales is the best path to do that. And I hope this helps you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you took value away from this, please like and comment below. Feel free to ask for recommendations of videos you want in the future, and I would love to make them for you guys. These kinds of videos make me feel good inside because this is the stuff that I wish I had a couple of years ago. That probably would be worth like $5 million right now instead of where I'm at now. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.